I think they do. Uh-oh. I was, you honked your horn, I don't know if you was, I was way too long.
No, yeah. You don't have any paperwork? What's that? You don't have any paperwork? Yes. You don't know.
No, probably, I'll check copies for the agenda. I have not one.
Let's try and look.
Maybe.
Yeah, the right cord or.
So night.
Do you need a screen or something?
Yeah.
I have an actual screen in my back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking around. They could basically do it the way that we do it.
Something like this.
Check stuff with the invoice stuff.
Something like that.
You guys have.
Whenever we do.
I got. Yeah. So that's. General election.
Sure. Like over here, you just kind of.
Yeah, even, oh, I know where it was. We did. Same person that you were doing it and the sat up how to the GL and. I know. Yeah, I'm gonna be computer. I want to have. I don't know.
I haven't, no, I was really.
So I put on there, that they're looking.
It's not
Tuesday after the,
So I kind of look at it as kind of thing as that.
if they're there, then we can just.
But no, that's not the firewalls,
Everybody can do it all.
I don't think I'm going to because they didn't say that Microsoft defended it, but if they're talking about changing the law and they're already, they would have to do. If they do that, then we're gonna.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because she's our last.
Routine is awesome. Sounds good. I'll look for her.
All right, I'm meeting the order. 6:02. Everybody rise for the pledge of allegiance. With invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we thank you for another evening. Thank you for beautiful weather. Thank you for the rain, watering everything so that we don't have to. Thank you, God, for everyone who is here to participate and to attend the meeting of the township board. And I thank you for every member of the board. We just pray, Lord, that you help us and guide us as we strive to do the business of the township and to do it with the best of our ability. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Hey. All right, Michelle Jackson, Christine Johnson here, Dennis Hugh,
Here,
David Koss,
Here.
and Bob Underhill.
here. Here, everybody's here. Is there any disclosure of conflicts this afternoon? Let the record show no conflicts. Okay. Anybody have any additions to the agenda? Anything on have to? If not, I will look for a motion to approve the agenda. I'll make the motion to approve. I will second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Holy moly, we're in public comment in 2 minutes. All right, anybody have anything they'd like to get off their chest today? Public comment? Nobody? Okay. We'll move on to guest reports. I did invite the sheriff today and I talked to him yesterday at the Board of Commissioner meeting and he told me that him and the deputy were gonna be here today, so. Still a little time for him to show up, but we'll. He's tardy. He's tardy, yes. So we'll move on and if they show up, we'll give them some time if they do. With that, we'll move on to Truman Bickham, Commissioner District 1.
You were at the meeting last night, Jim, and it was a very short meeting. Curtis on the other hand. A couple of things, we're looking for a new county administrator. Anybody wants to be head of it, we're seeing it. So I won't put it along. Last night we had a presentation by the county planning and Sturgis and it's about property with density as opposed to acreage. And we have over the chart that shows the differences. They're going to talk to each planning commission, the township planning commission, and try to come up with a countywide deal for this. So that's gonna take some time, but I think it's a good idea.
You You're talking about the land division
Yeah.
act.
Don't you think,
I'm sorry?
don't you think it's a good idea?
It's
I think.
already
One,
here. Yeah.
one big deal for the whole town.
Well,
People are, rural area.
for those of you that don't know what he's, speaking about, just recently, the state of Michigan approved a new land division act, which will previously, if you had 10 acres, you could split it up to 4 different things. Of course, your lot sizes or property sizes still were required to be within the zoning restrictions that our township has. So previously it was 4 splits for 10 acres or more, any size parcel. Now they're going to up to 10 splits on a 10-acre parcel, so their theory on this, and again, this was the state of Michigan that did this. Their theory is that it'll lower the cost for, people building homes. There'll be smaller lots available or parcel sizes. And it will increase density, which they are after, but, it's still it won't actually take effect until March of 2027. Townships do have the ability to, more or less do it now if we wanted to, but it would have to be approved on a per case basis. But, in March of 27, that will be the law. So go ahead, Jim.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. With that, we have a very special presentation, with, Northlight Ministry, Miss Molly Van Zandt.
Hello. I want to apologize because I had planned to use the big screen, but technology was working against me today. So I brought it up here. If anybody has any questions, if they want to see it closer, we can do that later. But I have submitted to Jim and the rest of the board a proposal about the chapel building, which is just adjacent to the Clearwater Township Cemetery. From my understanding, this is a historic building because it was the very first township hall for Rapid City, and then it was moved to its current location to be used as a chapel. The goal would be that we would restore it and use it for its intended use. That we would give it a few upgrades so that it can be occupied by people and used in that way, and then be a place that is set aside specifically as a chapel for community-wide use. So restoring a piece of Rapid City's history. So that currently today it's being used as a storage building. And my pictures here of what it looks like today. It will require some basic upgrades, including just how to get with the entrance, and we're really open to what that would look like in the future. And then imagining a renewed community space, and so these are just some generated pictures of what it could look like. The goal is to be part of the community, to add value, to add a space where community is built. That's what we do here on Tuesday mornings. We have the community coffee hour, and the goal is to build a larger sense of community and have add value to Rapid City. So the goal would be very much the same with this, with the chapel, but it would be for this specific purpose. And because it's located where it is located, it would be a beautiful place for small weddings or small funeral and memorial services. We could do small support groups such as a grief support group or a veteran support group. With the overall impact being low impact, where like it's not, we're not thinking of having some large gathering space. Because that's not what the environment calls for. The goal, again, would just be a restoration of a piece of the history of Rapid City, and the goal also would be to manage it and to, hopefully acquire funds so that it wouldn't be a burden to the community at all. So that is the reimagined proposal in a nutshell. And just the idea of creating space where community can flourish, in lots of different ways. So that is our proposal.
Restoration budget?
Mhm.
Do you have a restoration budget?
I have not, this is an opening discussion, and so until we have a little more detail on an agreement, I can't really get bids in that kind of thing, so, right. Yeah, and I'm open to any more questions.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I did email this to everybody in the board, you probably should have already seen the proposal there. Basically, what was it, close to maybe a month ago, something like that, I approached Molly and just asked them if her group would maybe be willing to take on, a restoration project. She approached me a while back looking for some things to do, and you had mentioned maybe doing a couple of upgrades here and that, and we're still kind of on that glide path. But I think that the chapel building out there, and again, that's our very first township hall. I think that if we don't do something with it, we're probably gonna be demolishing it if we don't, because it requires upkeep. I don't know of any upkeep that has been done on it since it moved to that location, really. I mean, I'm.
Well, it's been sided, we know that.
Yeah, someone sided it, that's true.
There's plumbing.
There's no plumbing and there's some electricity that runs to it, but that could be all part of the upgrade, and we could do that in stages as well. So it's not like it all would be done in one go.
We would have to mutually sit down probably with board members and that and come up with a plan and. Move forward with it that way, if it's feasible even, and if it's something we wanna do. I will say this. I know treating it as a historical thing, and I know we talk about grants and private funding and stuff like that, but people are very willing when it comes to historical things to open up their wallet a little bit and contribute, so.
Is there a grant that you can apply for?
There are lots of different types of grants, including historical grants that are specifically for restoring historical places, and there's rural community building grants that are available. It just would depend on the timeline of the application.
100 years old?
I would think it was
Yeah, I don't know.
100 years old probably when it moved to that location.
So,
Cemetery filled or vacancies?
are there vacancies in the cemetery?
There are
I believe
vacancies
there are.
in cemetery.
Yeah, you would think like a funeral home would possibly donate,
Right,
because I think some places are kind of moving away from grave site things, and if there's rain or something,
right.
and so they do it in the chapel.
Right, it could be a great service for, and that's something that Rapid City does not have in itself as a funeral home. And so just having a location, and even, there's churches here in this community that are doing great services in the community. But even for them to have a space that's designated for something like that, that would be open for them to use. For ministry in that sense, it would be it would be, the goal would, again, is open to all of the community, in an ecumenical space.
My personal observations, the building bones are quite good. It has the lath and plaster on the inside and there's a few cracks in that and some of that would certainly have to be changed and things like that. The roof doesn't appear that there's any leaks, but the roof is a little bit on the old side and it is metal, but it is galvanized metal and it's very like oak. I'll just say that. It has some delaminated spots and stuff. I don't want to take a whole lot of time on this, but I'm just,
Do you know how many square feet it is?
It's roughly, it's, but not a whole lot.
But not.
It's about 20 by 30.
How much?
About a third of us.
Yeah, no,
about 20 by 30.
Yeah, so it's.
you can guess. I would be curious if there's any like asbestos or anything too that you have in.
Oh, yeah.
So that you may.
Yeah, it's plastic. Right. So,
Okay, so,
so the proposal is for your consideration, and what we are asking for is to continue the conversation and for next steps. What it would look like to enter into a contract, and how to get those things moving, if, of course, you approve the proposal.
and I would also point out that you are a 501c3
Yes.
nonprofit organization, so just something for us to think about. And I don't know, did you want to maybe set a date to have like a follow-on meeting? People maybe in the community are interested in joining with to help.
Sure, I'm totally open for that. I would like to just keep the momentum rolling. And
Wonder if you could put a questionnaire at your coffee house,
I would love to do that.
you know, and just get community input. That would
Yes,
also.
yes.
No.
You wanna think July?
Yeah, let's look,
timeframe?
yeah.
And again, this would not be a board meeting, this would be a project meeting of sorts. Hopefully to move the project forward. Obviously, we don't wanna do anything around the 4th or that type of thing, but what would you think about maybe the 17th of July, which is a Friday?
Western Heritage Festival,
Okay,
which
That might be good.
it might be really good. It might fit in with the Heritage Festival, I don't know. But,
yeah, I just throwing it out there because it's a blank spot on my
Yeah.
calendar, that's all.
You didn't write heritage in
I'm pretty wide open right now, so
What do you think about the 10th?
10 would be fine.
Okay, why don't we, schedule a,
What's the purpose of another meeting? Is she just getting,
well, to see who in the community may be interested, I mean, if
you
we.
still wanna know what kind of grants or anything that you would have to start it, or?
It would be a public interest meeting to see how much public support we would have for that, because I imagine this would be a whole community-wide project. That, not 4 of us, really not Joanne's.
The last Saturday, I'll tell Jim, the last Saturday of the month at the Abrams Bands, they usually have a really good turnout there. I hope that would be a good night.
That's,
I'm open to whenever, you know, you wanna set that up, that, just
all right.
let me know.
Well, right now I've got it on my calendar for the 10th, but
Okay.
I think it's a good idea.
Well,
We're planning on being at the band night, so that would be a good place to spread the word.
At the table.
maybe we come up with a flyer or something about the meeting, I'll get it out, disseminated or something. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you for your consideration and the time.
Thank you. So would there be, public interest meeting on the time?
Yes, what time, Molly?
Yeah.
We were just, discussing it. Is
6 p.m.?
6 p.m. is fine, with me, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll do that tentatively and, I appreciate the, considerate. Okay. Still no sheriff, so we'll move on to approving the minutes for May 21st. Where you had a chance to take a look at it. They did appear in the Elk Rapids News today. I was just point out one thing, our last motion, regarding the, Stokes 3 boat rental business there, there's a line at the end of that says ZBA will continue to look into the ordinance and definition of home-based businesses. I did contact and they do have a public hearing scheduled at the next ZBA meeting to address pontoon rental business and also to address a dock structure as to if they would be compatible or allowable as a home occupation in R1. I emphasize that this is not about the Stoltz situation. This is purely on our ordinance and limitations in our ordinance or interpretations. So, we're not opening up a debate on the Stoltz Marina at this meeting.
What is the date of the?
July 13th, 6 p.m. Okay, still looking for a motion to approve the minutes. I will make the motion to approve. Second. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Okay. We did have a June 4th special meeting canceled, but we were not able to make a quorum at that meeting, so it is canceled. We still have a bit of stuff to do that revolves around that, but we'll be rescheduling it. We'll move on to the treasurer's report. Michelle, you're at the floor.
Okay. So I provided copies of the reports. They're broken down into the treasurer's report as well as the investment report. And there are copies on the table if anybody would like those, and it gives a breakdown of what we have as far as in the funds, as well as interest that we've earned. I did review these with Jim so that I had a second set of eyes to take a look at that. And then we signed off, we went through all of the bank statements as well to confirm that the numbers are.
I have one question.
Sure.
After looking at this a little bit, I do like it, but I was wondering if we could add a section of the total of both of them together. Is that
Then we can.
possible? Okay.
So you want added a total of what is in Michigan class with, or what is in?
Well, right now, when we look at this, we kind of have to do a little addition in our brains to make it work. So I was hoping maybe you could have a total section that would include both the investment portion and what's in the funds.
Okay. And I can do that.
It could just be another column, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, not an issue.
Have we gotten anywhere yet on sub accounts?
No, but if we get to the next part, I can go over where my process is with working with, yes and A. So does anybody have any more questions on the treasurer's reports and the amounts that we have in the accounts? As well as the treasurer's report?
No.
Okay. And then we'll go through and, work on getting an extra amount and the investment as well as what's in the account. Cause it does kind of look nice where we are. We're in pretty good shape financially. Everybody's been really good about not spending money. So on June 4th, I'm going on to the next with Plant Moran. So on June 4th, the supervisor, the deputy treasurer and I, we all spoke with Plant Moran and, went over, where we are with the general ledgers and the new transition conversion to BSNA. And it needs work. It needs quite a bit of work on the general ledger portion. So we were unable to, in the treasurer's part, to be able to break down the funds because the fund accounts were not set up. So the deputy treasurer has gone in and set up all of the fund accounts, so that portion is done. So there is work to be done on the general ledger. The deputy is gonna be working some with Plant Moran on that. And my understanding, our conversation was with Carolyn, she would be reaching out to the clerk for anything that has to do with her piece of the puzzle, on the general ledger. And, my understanding, it needs work. So that is where we are with, Plant Moran and BSNO. Did you want to add any?
I do. The conversation we had, and it was well over 3 hours
It was.
probably, was donated,
Yes.
by Plant Moran. We had raised a little bit of concern with them as to where we're at. And I expressed my displeasure with our situation. And she volunteered to work with us for that session, kind of pro bono, so that one won't be on our billing.
Yes, and, it was a really good, meeting because I think at that meeting, she saw what we were talking about when we're working in BSNA. That the general ledger numbers, we had duplicates, we had ones that didn't belong where they were at, checks were being cut out of, incorrect accounts, we didn't have fund accounts, so we couldn't separate any of the deposits, so the deposits are in the cash receipts, and I am working on adding the rest of the cash receipts, and then we are going to go through and make sure that there's no duplicates, so that we're not having to do any journal entries on those. But yeah, so we accomplished a lot. Did you have any input since you were in the meeting of the,
Yeah, the funds are still wrong because she has to go, I don't know if you guys remember that, funds are wrong because there's transactions and some of them and she couldn't just fix them, right?
right,
So she has to go back and do that, and then, I fixed all the cash receipting items, so she's able to do that. I deleted the unnecessary or inactivated the unnecessary GL numbers. There are some GL numbers we definitely have to add, they're still a mess. I think it was an aha moment for Carolyn. At that point, she was like, yeah, I think the look on her face at one point was, holy cow, this is messed up. And so, at one point we discussed, do we start over? And she's like, no, let's try to push through this. So that's how bad it was. We do have to meet again, as far as, what was I say with just that the funds are not, so the funds still need to be worked on, the cash receiving is set. The
Yes.
GL numbers still need work. There are transactions, so I did ask her about reconciling those accounts, because all of our bank accounts are reconciled. So when we're done entering the deposits, all those are gonna have to be redone, and there's gonna be work that has to, and there's gonna be items that need to be fixed in the general ledger of checks that were written incorrectly and out of wrong GL numbers and stuff, so there's gonna be rehearsed for that, there's gonna be done.
in my understanding with Carolyn and her group, they were gonna reach out to the court's
Yeah,
office. to
yeah,
go
that's
over it.
outside our.
Okay. So did anybody have any questions? No? Okay. Okay, and so, the next that we had, and these were ones that we, so the approval of non-post audit. So I had a few checks that I had questions on that I set aside. So, just to make sure that we have board approval, so we have the one with Smith and Johnson, the attorneys. And I just wanted to confirm if we are, is this having to do all with the, marina? Or no?
No,
Okay, so this is, all has to do with the cemetery? It's both.
it's both.
So it's all combined. Okay, and this is approved to go ahead and pay, correct? Okay, I just want to make sure, and then there was another to Michigan Township Association that had a rule for approval?
Yes,
Okay, so
That
that's
one
gonna be
also-
on your list?
yes.
Okay, and then there was an additional, $1,282.50 that, was part of the IRS abatement, is that one also?
The plant ran.
Mhm.
That one's, I'm not sure, because I've always thought contracts are approved according to our post audit, and that is a contract, and it's a payment for the contract, so.
Okay. Is that on the list to approve so that I can go ahead and get that approved? And then there was another one for voice and motor sales for 142.
Building grounds for their maintenance.
Okay,
Michelle, who's Parker Harvey?
who is?
Parker Harvey.
That's
Law
the law firm doing our heritage, or excuse me, Patriot Park up on the hill lease dissolvement.
And that was approved at the last meeting to be paid from the donations that came into the Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I don't have that check. I think that was a question, just figure where, so I have voice motors, I have, plant land, I have the attorneys, and then the one for MTA, that was the quote for approval, so that's on your list for approval. Then I'll just, set those aside until you get to, that portion. So that's kind of getting the start ahead, getting the horse
I
ahead.
know, so I guess we need to figure out like who's doing the approvals. Are you doing them or am I doing them? If you're holding them and you have them, you should.
Well, these should probably be approved by the board. That's why I was wondering, are they on the list that you have to be approved? Okay, so I'm gonna hold those aside. The other, I'm gonna go right over to the poverty exemption, because we do need to get that one done. We had postponed it for the special meeting to have that one approved. That needs to be taken care of. So if everybody had the opportunity to read that, Jim handed it out at the last meetings that we had, and everybody decided that we were going to,
I don't know if you all have the other version, but we have one decision to make there. And it's number 6. It's strange numbering system there. But question is, $50,000 would be the maximum amounts that the residents could claim.
and is that total assets including their home also?
I would think the portion of the home that they own, I mean, if you had $100,000 home and you had it all mortgaged, you wouldn't own anything. So yes, that would include that.
Okay.
So, the rest of this is basically, just boilerplate stuff that is, generally comes from the state. And our Dawn Coons assessor is who actually prepared this. We talked about it, worked on it together, but she actually prepared this, so this is similar to the exact wording that is in the Rapid River one. They chose that $50,000. We're fully, within our reach to do that ourselves.
And she had done an audit, and this is what they found, that we have it
Yeah, this
posted.
is last,
and we
this
need-
needs to be updated periodically. Last time it was updated was 2021.
Didn't she say every 2 years?
Yeah, I think it's every 2 years, so we're late doing this, and she discovered it because she's in the middle of an audit herself, and this is something that needs to be posted on our website under the assessors page. So
And do we know what resolution number that'll be?
that would be Christine's job.
Okay.
Is it? I don't know.
Resolution number are we on?
Probably. We'll look at the website, so that's just still good, but. Looks like we are on resolution 8.
Okay. All right, did somebody want to read this, or we've all had it, if you'd like to read it, sure, go ahead.
Oh, hardship poverty exemption guidelines, whereas the adoption of guidelines for poverty tax exemptions is within the purview of the township board, and whereas the homestead of a person or persons whom in the judgment of board of review by reason of poverty are unable to contribute to the public charges is eligible for exemption in whole or in part from taxation under Public Act 390 of 1994, which is the MCL 211.7U. Whereas pursuant to PA 390 of 1994 as amended, Clearwater Township, Kalkaska County, Michigan presents the following guidelines for the Board of Review to implement. To be eligible, an applicant shall do all of the following on an annual basis: be an owner of and occupy as a homestead the residence for which an exemption is requested, file a hardship tax exemption application with the supervisor, the assessor of the Board of Reviews. The application may be filed between January 1st and the day prior to the last meeting day of the Board of Review, but before the day prior to the last meeting day of the Board of Review must be accompanied by A, all proof of income as defined by the U.S. Census Bureau, B, federal and state tax returns for all persons residing in the principal residence or affidavit of exemption from filing taxes, C, statement of income, SSI. 3, produce a valid driver's license or other form of identification if requested. 4, produce a deed, land contract, or other evidence of ownership of the property for which an exemption is requested. 5, meet the definition of poverty as determined annually by the United States Department of Health and Human Services, which is included herein. Submit a list of all assets and their value owned by occupants of the resident, the total not to exceed a maximum amount of $50,000. 7, appear before the Board of Review if requested, wherein the applicant testifies as to the accuracy of the information provided. 8, meet any other tests that may be set up by the local governing body. The township board hereby adopts the federal poverty guidelines for the current year. The list size of family unit, 1. The poverty guideline is $15,650 for a family unit of two, $21,150. A family of three, $26,650. A family of four, $32,150. Family of five, $37,650. Family of six, $43,150. A family of seven, $48,650. Family of eight, $54,150. For each additional person is added on $5,500. Now therefore be it hereby resolved that the Board of Review shall follow the above stated guidelines in granting an exemption under section MCL 211.7U. So the foregoing resolution offered by Township Board member.
I'll make that motion.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so we will put in Chris the clerk. And supported by Jim.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will go to a roll call vote.
David Klaus?
Yes.
Bob Underhill?
Yes.
Michelle Jackson?
Yeah.
Christine Johnson, yes. Jim LePew?
Yes.
So it looks like that has been adopted.
Don will be very happy.
Well, we were hoping to get it done sooner, but it was came up. Okay, and then the next, and I know that I handed them out on the meeting in May. They were also emailed a couple days prior to the meeting in May. That we need to go over the post audit policy as well as the line of credit policy. So, and thank you for Christine for providing these to me. So I'm going to hand you back. These right here, these are just people we're doing business with.
Oh,
And they are not necessarily lines of credit. So Tractor Supply, there were two credit cards with Tractor Supply. Both were for former, maintenance. And, according to Tractor Supply, that credit card was up to $5,000 was the credit line. And they also, if either of the people that were the prior maintenance came in and they did not have the credit card, they only had to provide a valid identification to be able to purchase anything from Tractor Supply. So those individuals, me and my deputy had notified them that they're no longer there. They were taken off of the account. They stated that the account is still at Clearwater Township, so the board just has to determine, are we just going to close that account and only use the township's credit card? And, I don't think we need a line of credit at Tractor Supply for $5,000.
Need it.
Then that was
$5,000.
Yeah, so again, they have it. We didn't shut down that portion, we did shut down the prior employees, they are not able to use it or provide their identification. So,
There was no balance on the account, right?
there was no balance on the account. And I think it looks like the last purchase was August of 2024 for $194.99. So, it's gonna be up to the board then if we are going to be adding Gordy to be able to use that and, setting a credit limit. It's something that really needs to be defined in a credit card policy to be able to do that. The other option would be to just close out the account in entirety. And then, if Gordy needed to go to Tractor Supply, he would just check out the Clearwater Township credit card through all this with that.
Gordy, what do you think? Would that be helpful to have that separate from, say, the township credit card?
just a
No,
moment.
no.
Dean,
So the issue is internal controls. These cards have been open for how long? And they've had these names on them for how long? They haven't been monitored, even in the last few weeks that we know we've had them. You know, like stated, we know we have them, they haven't been taken care of. It should have been, as soon as we found out, we should cancel. There's no internal controls on that. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we have another one that we have questionable purchases, so we have a credit card for the township that can be used.
Well, I would recommend we just close that account.
okay, and I can kind of give an example, so, and I think I gave that example to you, in the modern times, people can go online and they can go, oh, I just want this account paperless. And email the bill to this email address, right, which isn't associated with the township, and people would be able to get away with charging and either not paying, or paying because, you know, they can't get it in their own name and they wanna use the credit card. So that, it will be up to the board to decide, you know, if everybody votes to have that closed.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we close the Tractor Supply credit card account.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay. So then the next one that we have is we have one for Lowe's. And that is also a credit card.
It is.
Yeah, it is a Pro card, which is a credit card. Pro Rewards is their credit card. It looks like a notification was received on this one. We have, everybody on the board is listed as somebody who is able to use that account. And it looks like we received it back in December of 2024,
So
so,
I'd say it's probably the formal board.
well, it has all of us.
It does.
Yep.
December 24, you're.
They even get our name, we haven't even used that.
I would just make a motion, we close that.
Okay, so we're gonna close that. Now, with that being said,
We're
Yeah,
gonna
we gotta
vote
vote
on
on
that.
it
Do I have a
first.
second?
well, I want you, so Lowe's, to get their discounts, they go to this Pro card. So that's how they get the 5% discount. So this card is their new system. So we did receive the card for the new system. So if everybody agrees to close that out, I would agree. So if somebody wants to make the motion to close it
Yeah,
out,
make a motion, close that, close account.
Is there a second?
I second it.
The sheriff is here, Jim.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Matt, or
That door is.
Okay.
Aye.
Then the other one that we have is Dollar General. And that one is also a credit card.
I actually got that to work. I
Yeah.
Got some paper towels and toilet paper there.
So currently, the users that are listed is Jody McGee, Margaret, and Craig Van Loon.
All three of whom are gone.
Yeah, all three of whom are gone. The last purchase was made on December 2nd of 2025 by Craig.
Well, I told them I was correct. How easy it is. But
It was you.
I explained to them, you know, obviously I knew the person at the thing.
They knew he wasn't correct.
Yeah. But they
So
also-
again, now Craig or Margaret or
Okay, so that
Jody
just tells you right there.
walk in
Yeah.
with their driver's license or just say their name and their name's on the list and they could charge. So the last one of these three people who charged on it was Craig Van Loon, December 5th, 2025.
Which apparently was,
Was that,
That's me.
that was
you were December.
Okay,
Okay, so this is a fine example
Literally, paper towels and toilet paper.
okay.
in December.
I don't believe we need that account anyway.
I don't know.
Okay, so that is another one that can be closed.
Yes, I'll make that motion, we close Dollar General account.
Okay.
Jim, when you went, did you take your EIN number?
I will second that motion.
They already have that.
You're supposed to take the card and the EIN, and they're not supposed to let you do it without the card and the EIN. Yeah, that works out well.
That's why we closed it.
Okay, well, everybody's got a vote. And I vote to close it.
Motion by LaFew, second by Johnson.
All those in favor?
Yep, go ahead.
All in favor? Aye.
So that one will be closed. And then the last one would be the Costco membership. So we tried to get whatever information that we could on the membership. And my understanding is the only people that they will talk to is the township clerk and Angie. So those are the only people that they will talk to. So we don't know if we have a current membership with them.
We have a current membership. It is not a charge account. It's just a membership.
Okay, do we have the membership card?
I have a membership card.
You have the membership card at the
They only
township.
allow two.
They only-
It's me with my picture.
Right, no,
And Angie's
I,
her picture, but I think Angie turned hers in and that.
okay, so she's still on the account, so she can go in and she can use the townships.
So she can only use the township's card to get in and purchase it. She's not charging anything for the
Right.
township.
Right, so
And that would
that,
only give us credit if she did, so.
Yes.
So get 6% off.
yes, and she also, if we're also a municipality and it's tax exempt, so we probably should not be using it for people to go in
No, no,
to,
I'm
to
just-
shop
I'm-
in strictly, so
I
They
would have to
won't-
check. what
they
she
won't
turned in.
speak
I'm pretty
to
sure she
us,
did.
well, she's still on the account, so if she went in and said, hey, I don't have my card on me, she would, I'm not saying that she
Yeah.
would, but we're looking at internal control.
So I need to go to Costco.
And, or call, and then they also need to have other people who are on the board that are able to speak to them, that can be Jim, Bobby, Dave, whoever chooses, so that we have a second person.
Again,
Who wants to be the second?
I'll be second.
board members should only be on these things. I don't see why
Yeah,
an office administrator should be on the Costco account, should be board member.
She was on the Costco account because she was doing all of the purchasing of office supplies.
And so she's the only one, so she's been on it, how long has she been gone?
she's been going for quite a while, and then we had a coupon for discount or reward for $26.50, and they are stating that that has expired. So, on March of 2024, so whatever reward we've missed out on. So, again,
It's annual, so they're.
Yeah. and my suggestion would be, I mean, I'm good with Dave being on it. My suggestion would be, if you have a couple people on it that are using it, you know, they're over there, they're buying back. I don't have an issue with that, but Costco should be able to speak to anybody on the board. They should not refuse to speak to anybody because they're not on the account. If they're part of the board, they should speak to the board, in my opinion.
So is
So
there an online portion to that? Is there a way to go online on the membership?
they said that there was a login and a password.
Well, the number that's in that file was expired. We didn't have an updated number. The membership in there was expired.
Yeah, and so is the reward, the reward, expired this.
So there's a login for that, and that needs to be shared as well. So we can monitor that.
So that would be my wish.
What is your monitoring?
Well, my wish would be that everybody was in there, so if anybody had any questions.
I can't force them to add more people to the account. They can say that they only have two. So
Then I would choose Jim. And Jim.
Yep.
And I mean, that's, again, that's my opinion.
Remember
But the password needs to be,
Yeah, we need to
Available.
have the login and the
it's on my
password.
password list in the locked files.
we don't have access to it, so the treasurer should definitely have access.
So with that. There was another one, maybe it was the one in the queue.
We're not adding Dave, we're adding Jim instead.
Yeah.
Great, so.
And
Is
so,
that-
You
We have to have access to that.
and we can vote.
But it's a municipality, so we can.
going on here.
Yeah, so we.
You guys, we're trying to talk over here.
He's talking to me, and for his question.
Well, let's not talk, let us stop.
Okay, well, you can address Andrew too.
It's settled down, let's get back to the meeting.
And so
Okay,
then
so, wait a
there
minute, I don't
was
understand.
one
Who's on the
other.
card?
It's just me. Angie is still on there. We're going to remove Angie Blattenberger
Mhm.
and we're just gonna add somebody.
And
Okay.
I'm suggesting Jim, just because Jim, you're in the office Monday through Thursday. And you would be available, you know, if there were any, you know, issues or questions. You would be there when Christine's there, who needed to get the login and password to go on.
Is there a limited amount of people that can be?
Who
okay.
who is the limited,
Yeah, I would-
Christine
I
is.
don't need, yeah, I have my own password on it.
Yeah, I have one, but I do. And then the only other one, was Arts Auto and Truck. So,
But that wasn't an account though, that's just a business agreement.
right, so they have listed on here, so the signers on that is Jim and Christine. And then it looks like we did it like it was a credit application, so Margaret did a credit application. And, had references on there, so is it a credit application?
We don't have anything with ours, they called me.
Okay, they called you, so we're all set, okay. So that was my only question.
All right, and before we move on, I would like to make a motion that we add Jim to the Costco card and remove Angie Blattenberger.
Awesome. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, if we could just pause for a second here, Michelle, we got a couple of
Absolutely.
jokers just walked in here, I wanna get them straightened out. Okay. Some of you may have heard that we lost our sheriff, Pat Whiteford, and next thing you know, Dave Wagner shows up and he's our new sheriff, so I would like to introduce him, and I'm unfamiliar with the deputy that is here, but.
That's fine. I'll do that.
Yeah, you can do that. So-
Thank you for your time, I appreciate it. My name is Dave Wagner. May 1st, 45 days ago, I was appointed sheriff. Pat resigned, so they appointed me. Nobody else stepped up, so, I don't know if that was a clue or not, but I took it. So, and then Monday, I appointed, Regan Forrester as my undersheriff. So we're the new sheriff and undersheriff in town. Just come up here to introduce ourselves, doing it to all the townships. You guys should know who I am. I have an open door policy, doing the same thing Pat did. We're working with the LPA, working with the township, so if there's anything you guys need, please let us know. All right, that's the only time. I'll let you reintroduce yourself, and then any questions.
Yeah, I'm Regan Forster. I moved here in '09, was a township deputy here in Clearwater for a while. I'm the detective. We have somebody else that replacing my role as detective, but that's what I did for about the last decade, was the detective here in Caucasian. Really excited to take this role and we're going from here. So I have the same policy as the sheriff. Open door, you need anything from us, let me know when we get.
Do you have any questions from us?
We need more presence in our township.
I agree.
We need to work something.
Yes, I agree.
I know that we had, previous contracts with the sheriff's department, and I heard it multitudes of times that there's no difference when we had the contract and didn't have the contract. We kind of feel like crime is out of control and try and Rapid City and Clearwater. I don't know that you can stand on Rapid City Road for 20 minutes and not see somebody cruising through about 50 miles an hour, you know. I know I see you guys occasionally, we watch our cameras, I see you in our parks at night occasionally. State police as well. But I don't know what the answer is, but I know, and I've said this to people here before, what we're doing now isn't working. You know, drugs are out of control, just had a overdose today, actually.
Yes.
So
the thing that I would ask yourself, if it was, when you had the contracts, I know you said you heard, I've heard that before, but I would ask yourselves and the residents, was there a difference? I mean, I think you'd have to ask that honestly. I truly believe that if you have a contract and we guarantee you hours, you're gonna have an officer up here more often. Will that prevent crime? I don't know, but I do know that if there's an officer here, there's not as much crime.
Well, as far as paying extra money goes, I don't know if you've looked at the statistics, but Clearwater Township is paying 15% of your budget right now.
Yes.
You know, so it seems like we should at least have one car here almost all the time if we're already contributing 15% of your budget, you know, we should get 15% of the services that you're providing. Just my brain working there, but, you know, and I'm not placing that on you personally. But, you know, I'm with most people here, we'd like to see a bigger presence, you know, and we already are paying a lot.
And just, I know that the sheriff provided you with some stats, but a third of all our complaints are handled by our deputies in Clearwater Township, so we're here. In a third of those complaints, is that more than 15%? I'm not good with math, that's why I'm a police officer, but I do, you guys laugh, I'm not that, that's why I brought it in. But I mean, you know, last year, you know, 700 something complaints were handled in Clearwater Township.
That shows you right there, we got a lot of crime.
Right, but I mean, we're here.
And
But
we're
you're
positioned.
responding.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we were looking for a patrol to prevent you from having to respond.
Correct.
That's where we're at.
And we had a contract and people that came to that meeting had stated that they did not see a difference between the contract. we
I
were-
heard that a lot, not just for the last contract, but previous contracts, you know, going back to long time. But not to drag this on fully, you and I need to meet maybe and, you know, kind of discuss some of these things and maybe come up with something and
I agree.
work this problem, because it is a problem.
I agree. Thank you.
Yep.
Does the public have any questions of us? I know we're taking a lot of your time, so I don't.
Hey, you're fine. You're the first sheriff's been here in probably a year and a half.
Thank you. I'll be back. I'm not just gonna show up for election time.
I don't know if you make money on tickets, but if you wanna hang out on Wilhelm Road, we got a place you can sit. And then it goes motorcycle, 100 miles an hour down that road. Anytime. So, and I know you can't sit there all the time. I actually called one in the other day.
And we can't make money on tickets, unfortunately.
That'd be great, though. It's like a drugstore.
It'd be good for good police officers, but I think you can make that back. And I'm not saying we would, but I mean, I think it could be. That.
So one thing.
Saving the life is priceless.
Yeah, we did, Patrick and I did have a few conversations at one time about maybe setting up like a neighborhood watch, and he said there's some things that you can help us with to do that.
Yes.
Maybe that's where we could start.
Yes. So, but please just, you have my email?
I do.
Okay. Please email me, we'll be in.
Okay.
And we should be busy though, you see a lot of.
Yeah.
Does the sheriff's department still do the Explorer program for the kids?
No, we do not.
Okay.
No, we do not.
All right,
No other questions?
I'm good.
Thank you guys.
Hey, we'd like to certainly invite you on Tuesday for a coffee time here. And we have a sweet roll and serve that. Not saying that.
I mean, go lying if I said it like, no, the president.
And we could give reward.
And can you tell me what date and time?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, seven 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh.
To noon.
Oh, okay. Sure, right.
Good job.
Every Tuesday.
You guys can do it to free.
I don't need my beer. Don't you grow. Just not sure that you. Okay, thank you. All right, every Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'll be here.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So I think. The only other question I have on the Fosca one is making sure that board members have the login and the password, so we're able to have full access to, the membership. Not that we're gonna be the contact people, but to be able to log in and password, just so that we have additional, internal controls on the Costco account. So I think that, other than that, that's where we are. As far as looking at our post audit policy, cause I had some additional questions. We provided the post audit policy back in May. We also provided it for, the day of the meeting that we ended up canceling, because we didn't have a quorum. So, we have the post audit as well as credit card and vendor, charge accounts. So both of these policies just go over, what the policy states. It doesn't provide like a procedure or a process, just policy piece of the puzzle. So these, the priority on these are needed. So I wasn't, I'm sure I see that you have them on the list, like the approval we needed ASAP on the poverty exemption guidelines. Are we looking to also, go over these and approve these, this evening? Has everybody had an opportunity, or are we gonna set up another special meeting and try to knock out some of these policies all at one time?
I didn't see anything really that I didn't agree with, but I have said multiple times that these need to go to the attorney for review before we adopt them.
And why would you think that the policy part would have to go to the attorney?
Everything we do legally is supposed to go to the attorney.
Well, if they typically don't, MTA says that they don't, but if you want to send both of these to the attorney.
Every time I'm at MTA, they're like, go to your attorney, go to your attorney, go to your attorney for everything.
Not on policies, but again, if you want
Well,
to.
that's interesting because Peggy Schultz just put out a notice for training and for employee policy
Mhm.
review.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Well, an employee handbook would be different. That definitely has to go to an attorney
that's, yeah.
to review. These are individual policies. Once a policy is adopted, then we would come up with a procedure for that policy.
I mean,
And then
legally, because you say that, you have on here under section 2 for the post audit policy, that contractual obligations do not automatically qualify for post audit payments. If contracts are part of our post audit, are we saying we're not? I mean, they're already approved by the board when we vote for the contract, so why wouldn't that be
Okay,
post
so
audit?
let's.
And legally, like, that's my question, legally.
Let's use an example. So Plant Moran, had agreed to a certain amount for doing the IRS in the state of Michigan, research and abatement. And so then, they had a contracted amount. It was roughly $4,000. Well, now, we're way over beyond that. So are those still considered part of that contract, or are they now at that reduced hourly
And
that
that's
they
a question that we
provided
would
to
have
us?
to ask the attorney, right?
So again, I'm comfortable with them going to the attorney. I mean, there's nothing hidden in there that is anything that is
No.
secretive. These are policies that, MTA approves. So if we want to make the motion to have our attorney, I would like to have them go through Peggy Schultz.
Oh, me too. Me too.
And now
Second
that,
If it's a motion.
okay,
Are you making a motion?
yes,
What
ma'am.
is your motion?
The motion is to have these reviewed by Peggy Schultz.
These two. Uh,
These two
Post audit
policies.
and the line of credit.
The post policy, post. post audit policy.
We have
and the
many
line of
more, but I
credit.
thought these were like the high priorities.
They are very important, and then just to circle back to Fahey Schultz, everybody wanted to know the charge, $295 per hour, no retainer fee for municipalities, and they only charge per 6-minute incidents. So does anybody second the motion? Did they hear a second?
Jim did, yes.
Okay.
So you to have the post audit policy and the line of credit policy reviewed by Fahey Schultz before adopting.
Yes.
There was one other thing on the, line of credit and vendor charge account policy. Now we're removing Dollar General from
Right.
that, so we're gonna cross that out, and we did not add McLean's, that is also a line of credit.
And that has actually was approved by the board, that's been intact since 2002. So again, the claim should be on there because we do use them.
Okay, so we need to do it, we need to
Yes.
remove Dollar General and McLean's.
Okay.
And do we, can we just do a voice vote, or do we need a roll call that to some?
I don't think we need roll callers. All those in favor?
Any opposed? No?
We can only vote once.
Only vote once. And if we're sending those, do we want to go ahead and add the debit card, use policy as well, and just let them knock that 3 out at a time?
Yeah.
Do you want? I have them all.
Is this the one that you already sent?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So we can add that to the motion, that would be perfect. That would knock
We're
out
amending the motion that we already voted on, so we can't amend it, we already voted on it.
Okay, so let's have another vote.
Credit card policy, we sent to Fahey for show.
Okay. Second,
I said it.
I think we just did a voice vote, that's all. But all those in favor? Aye.
And did you have anything that anybody have any input or anything that they wanted to add? As far as the lines of credits, credit cards, ones that were closing, or any questions? No, did you have any added input?
Then you guys been using line of credit not properly, it was on my policy form, can be used.
I did see under section 2 on the post audit that it does say this list of all of the things that are authorized as post audit payments includes debt obligations. That's everything, so that wording should probably change.
Yeah,
But
and
the attorney will let us know.
yeah, and I'm sure they'll let us know, but again, when I'm thinking of a contract, so like we have a contract with Centerras. So now Centerras, where I'm on a level 3 tech, and they're telling me, we can't help you online, we need to have a field agent come out. So that's gonna be a separate charge, that's gonna be different than what they contracted with us, it's over and above, and it's additional monies that we're gonna be charged for.
Mhm.
So again, they're gonna be here Tuesday, 10 AM. My guess would be if anybody's having any issues besides me, if we have it all knocked out at one time, that would be great. So we don't have to pay any more mess.
Coming Tuesday, what time?
10 AM. That's all.
All right.
Did we still need to do the, resolution for property tax administration fees?
I think Dee had said we could get by with the one that we have, but it does need to be updated, that should be updated every couple of years.
And there were.
It's already settled as a tax bill now, so.
Yeah, it's already settled for
Oh,
right now.
okay, so this can wait,
Yeah,
okay.
stack of, and I think there were a lot of them. That's there, so. All right, so my long-winded section is done. Thank you for bearing with me.
Jeez, Michelle.
You know.
All right, move on to the clerk's report.
All right, I have several reports for you, just so that you can, have more paperwork and more things to look at. So when I pay the bills, the process is you have to input the invoice. And then you have to post the invoice. And then you have to create the checks. And then you have to post the checks. And then you have to print the checks, then post the checks. That's really weird, but every time you do that, it generates another report. So I went ahead and printed out the invoice journal report for you, because this report actually has all of the GL numbers on it, where the check register does not. So if you need to see the GL numbers, there they are on this report.
And I just had a quick question, when they have a 000 at the end, are there usually like a 3-digit extension on those GLs, or are they always gonna be?
I don't know,
zero,
those, that's a fourth set of zeros, so
Okay.
numbers, so that it's the first set of three.
Okay.
Or the first 3 sets of 3. I don't know, I think those would be like sub-account numbers if you added it. So like Michelle said, Michigan Townships Association, annual dues are due, and that is $3,386.74. However, on their paperwork that they sent us, they offered this opportunity. All members of your township team, including volunteers, to have access to all of the courses that they have in their online learning subscription. And there are 3 levels that you can purchase, either Essentials, which is $750, Plus, which is $1,000, or Premium Pass, which is all courses included for $1,900, and that's an additional charge if we wanted to do that. Other than that, you can go anytime on there. It's, I think, $25 a class. So you can either pay for a subscription and get as many as you feel you need, or you can.
Subscription annually, or it's a
I
one-time?
do
fee?
believe it's annually.
I don't think we could do enough.
Online learning,
It's worth of classes in a year.
right? If you could do them all in a year, it would be worth it for a year, but.
Let me ask Dan here. Dan, do you think that would be a useful tool for some of your planning commission people?
What?
Access to MTA's training classes?
Yeah,
You think it would be used to the point of $1,900? Not exclusively for planning.
Yeah. I can't tell you that, I would use it some and some of the others would. I don't know how many people use it.
At $25 a class, it would take us a long time to get to $1,900, so I think we should just pass.
That's the premium pass. You can do the essentials for $750.
And what does the essentials?
It doesn't give me a whole lot of information on what that,
Yeah, when you go on the training thing, it's broken down
yeah.
for you.
$25 a class is pretty inexpensive, aren't they? Is that what it says? I don't know what you're reading it there, but I was just looking at one that's happening, I think. End of August, beginning of July over in Gaylord, and that was an evening for 100 or maybe even 125, I don't. But somewhere.
When you attend them personally, it is more, for sure.
Yeah.
In the state of Michigan, they email us classes and webinars that are free. I think I just saw the first one today that there was a charge attached and it was $100.
Okay, so we're kind of all in the same mindset that we don't need to
Just
purchase
the basic
just
subscription.
just our membership.
Yeah.
And not subscription for training. Or average.
As long as we can do it at $25 a class, I think we would have probably less than $1,900 of participation in that, so.
Because on this check, it shows what, $225 in education. That doesn't break down what that education was for.
That was election training for gentlemen.
Okay, so that is more than $25.
Yeah,
It's an in-person class.
yeah, that was in person. Okay. We just took that training yesterday.
So everybody, we're gonna set that aside because I don't need to.
The only thing about, leaving it at individual $25 a class is this, it's budgeted under your department, so. You have an education budget, I have an education budget, she has, everybody has their own education budget. And so, I know that the treasurer's already over budget in their education, I think I'm now over budget, I can't tell you for sure because I can't see the budget yet. But, yeah, so
So we'll have to
If we
amend
don't-
that.
if we did a subscription for online learning, it wouldn't be under the department budget, it would just be under the township board. And then we could forego that part of the budget in each department and offer training for everybody through the board. Just a suggestion. Something to think about, we don't have to do it this year, and then we could probably add.
And that one is $750.
Yeah. There's this, the lower one, the $750.
No, I think that we're gonna have to do a lot of budget amendments according to the conversation with plan, like that is all
Oh, yeah.
bad, so.
Yeah.
This much of that.
Absolutely. All right, so a motion to approve the MTA, what is this, membership dues
Yes,
in the amount of $3,386.74.
Second.
And that will be a roll call. Bob Underhill,
Yes.
Michelle Jackson,
yes,
David Cross,
Yes.
Christine Johnson, yes, Jim LaPierre.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would just say too, there's a wealth of information on that MTA website, so you don't have to.
Absolutely.
and the state of Michigan, so been sending some really good classes that are free.
Richard Klein says
Does-
it all the time.
Yeah,
This has to be with that chat.
thank you very much.
All right, so that's MTA. What else was on here? Question for you, Jim.
Yes.
Are we still carrying Continental Linen and Centos?
Yes, what happened, Continental Linen Service had a contract, set up with a minimum requirement for us to spend $30. Okay, it was up over $120 every week, I think, or something like that. So I checked the pricing of Cintas. This is, for our rugs and mop heads and Gordy's uniforms. And they have a special program with the My Deals. The state of Michigan hooks up these big contracts and then we benefit from the large contract. So we have reduced from $127 to right around $50 per week for the rugs, uniforms and mop heads. But there's still a requirement for us to pay Continental Linen Service, even though we're not getting their thing. So basically, we're paying $80 a month where we used to pay $127. Until that Continental Linen Service contract runs out, we will no longer have to pay that $30. I don't have the exact date
The last bill I got from them was $400.
for Continental Linen Service.
Yes.
What is the period for that?
I don't know.
But literally, our bill from Continental should be $30, because I told them we don't, we're going in a different direction.
And I wonder if they took that as a cancellation, and that's a cancellation.
No, they didn't.
I was wondering, the uniforms are still on there from the last maintenance. Right.
Rugs.
See, they don't have any rugs in the building.
Rugs,
Where's the
mop heads. May 14th.
Well, I'm gonna have to get in contact with them.
May 14th, May 7th, 28th. Yeah, it is the month of May.
So we'll get in touch touch with them.
Find out why we're still being billed that much.
Yeah.
Now, just out of curiosity, are we the only one that is the fire department getting right things like a treasure department? Okay.
Alright. Alright, the next one for, vote is Hometown Publications, that is. Our advertising for meeting minutes and for the cemetery ordinance, and the total amount for. The bill there was $1,584. Extremely high, but that's what happens when you have multiple pages. So that one is going to need a vote by the board to approve. I don't know if you pulled that one or not, you probably doesn't. No, it was over $1,000, so we need a vote.
I'll make a motion, we pay the hometown public.
And then second that.
But I agree, it's a lot of money for a newspaper ad. Actually, it's several.
Yeah. Alright,
Is that the Alphabet news?
Yes.
motion by LaFew, second by Jackson to approve $1,584 for hometown publishing.
We're required to do by law.
Yes, we have to, so we really don't have a choice. So. I mean, does that fall under automatic post audit, or is that something that we don't have to post audit and have to approve?
I think it's legitimate to think that we're gonna have newspaper bills from now until the end of time. So
Sure, yeah.
might as well put that on there.
Are we gonna require anything over $1,000?
I think that's a good thing to do, yeah.
So that we're aware whenever
So
that
it's 100,000, it's approved.
But in
over $1,000 vote. Okay, all right, so roll call vote. David Foss,
Yes.
Michelle Jackson,
yes.
Christine Johnson, yes, Bob Underhill.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
thank you. And Smith and Johnson attorneys, Michelle talked about that one. That's quite a large bill for this time. We have not had a bill from them for quite a while. And so this is the first time they actually jumped in and started doing some work for us. $3,990 to Smith and Johnson attorneys. Attorney has always been post audit. But since it's over 1,000 and it's an unusually large amount, I would prefer to have that one approved.
And it's for roughly 12 hours.
Which is another reason why we need to switch attorneys. So I'll make that motion for the Smith and Johnson bill.
I'll say.
I almost wrote you as. All right, Christine Johnson, yes, Bob Underhill,
Yes.
Michelle Jackson,
Yes.
David Foss,
Yes.
and Jen LaFew. Yeah. That was it.
The only ones I had questions was the voice motors, if that was.
Yeah, that's under
approved.
building and grounds, that's under the purchasing policy, for the department.
And then-
Oil change, huh?
Oil changes, everything says it.
And then the only other one was the additional funds for plant moran. And that is $1,282.50 for the IRS abatement.
Let's hope they help us.
Well, yeah, so I mean, we have to pay them and we're gonna have that and get that completed. Now, my
It's already
question.
on its way. It's already being worked.
Yeah, so my question too, does it throw an anchor in it since the IRS was overpaid and then they took those monies and applied them to our back arrearage that we owe? So does Plant Moran and Cameron and Carolyn all know that happened?
No, that was actually right here in my stack of
Okay, so you're.
I mean,
reach
I
out
just,
to them.
yeah, I was just gonna let everybody know that we did end up with an
Just-
overpayment amount. It's $527.
And then they applied it to,
They applied it to 2022.
so we'll have to let them know, so we have to, vote to approve that.
Do we need to vote to approve the Plant Moran contract? That's the question.
The overages.
Yeah, the overage, the word, because they had stated 4,000, and so now I think we're, without looking at them, we're
5,600.
we're over by about $9,000, I wanna say, so, yeah. So if everybody approves this, then, you know, I'll sign it and send it out. I did, send out the other one when she gave us a breakdown of all of, itemization of what that went to. So do you guys wanna request that they provide us an itemization for this? So I'll reach out and get an itemization.
Before you sign the payment.
Yep. And that's what we did before, so that works for me, and those were the only questions
All right.
that I had.
The other report I provided for you is the tax register report, and that is by department. I think this is. Which is the same exact report, so it has all the same
Just
amounts,
broke down by-
just broken down differently. And then I also provided a journal report by each account, so you have everything again in different format, it's just,
And this you're stating this part is the budget part.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it-
because there's no money in the budget.
Well, not only that, but Carolyn also stated that the budget is all wrong anyway, so, I mean, besides, the cash receipts being in there but not posted, she said the amounts and everything were messed up on the budget, like the budget really needs to be once we get everything squared away on the general ledger and the cash receipts all posted and reconciled, that is gonna be one that's gonna be important. But I think she warned you, didn't she, Kim?
okay, I also printed out, the revenue and expenditure report, I don't know if I provided a copy, is that what you're looking at? Okay, that's what you're looking at. So you have your year-to-date balance and your activity for the month of May, and we're all 100% over budget on every area because the budget's not in it, so you see there's $0 on
Yeah,
there.
it's not correct.
But that just shows you where we at, but also, I want you to notice that there are 0 revenues. Too,
Mhm.
so revenues are not showing up on our expenditure.
They're in the
report.
cash receipts, they're not posted.
They're not posted.
Right.
Okay, so that's why they're
Yeah,
not showing
because
up.
the cash receipt fund accounts were not set up to be able to post. There was no to attach them to. There is now,
Okay,
Recently,
there
yes.
is now,
there is
and I
now.
just printed this report to.
No, it is.
Oh, so
the-
for June it will show up.
For the funds, so on the accounts, and Carolyn and all of us that were on the call, we went over that. So again, the accounts that were set up for cash receipt were limited. So for, say, taxes, so our millage, we might have a millage and admin fee. The only thing that we have to post to is admin fee. They didn't have anything broken down for millages. They didn't have anything broken down for anything. I could post the Little Red Schoolhouse. I could post the town hall. So, I mean, it was very limited. Dee worked with the SNA and have those set up now, so we are currently,
When I do it, it should pop up
Hopefully.
with.
Said by next meeting.
I do hope so.
Hopefully,
No, that's a long way, Michelle, you're not gonna have those on her by then.
no.
Wait, take your time right now.
Probably not, because you guys are moving from the equation that taxes are, we're gonna be doing taxes, so.
All right, I have another thing here that is from MTA, and this actually came back in January, but I never, it was in a stack on my desk, and it's not a bill or anything, but I wanna read this to you. The Michigan Township Association is again encouraging every township board to deliberate on and adopt the enclosed principles of governance. MTA members throughout the state have enthusiastically embraced these principles as their own code of conduct, and the MTA Board of Directors urges you to reaffirm or adopt for the first time these principles of governance as an official policy of your township board. Our objective in promulgating principles of governance for our members is straightforward. Township boards can be much more efficient and effective when there is a high degree of trust among board members and between the board and those whom they are elected to serve. Township boards earn trust by demonstrating their commitment to effectively solving problems and conducting their business in a manner consistent with their community's expectations and values, and then faithfully delivering on those commitments. The MTA board affirms in our mission and values statement that township government embodies efficient, effective, economical, ethical, and accountable local government in Michigan. The principles of governance embody these core values and can guide board members toward consistent actions and deeds that reflect well on the township and on themselves. The MTA board strongly believes that a township board that publicly adopts and adheres to these principles will enjoy strong public support and be better positioned to achieve great things on behalf of its residents. As a key part of our collective commitment to fostering efficient and effective township government that has earned the public's trust, the MTA board invites your board to affirm and practice the enclosed principles of governance through formal ratification at a board meeting. By signing the certificate, board members denote their personal pledge to adhere to the principles. Following board action, we encourage you to frame and proudly post the document in a prominent place for all to see. So they have this document here, and it's called Clearwater Township Principles of Governance. To maintain the highest standards and traditions of Michigan townships, we embrace these principles to guide our stewardship, deliberations, and constituent services as we commit to safeguard our community's health, safety, and general welfare. We pledge to insist on the highest standards of ethical conduct by all who act on behalf of this township. We pledge to bring credit, honor, and dignity to our public offices through collegial board deliberations and diligent, appropriate responses to constituent concerns, to actively pursue education and knowledge and embrace best practices, to treat all persons with dignity, respect, and impartiality without prejudice or discrimination, to practice openness and transparency in our decisions and actions, to cooperate in all reasonable ways with other governmental entities and consider the impact our decisions may have outside our township's borders, to communicate to the public township issues, challenges, and successes, and welcome the active involvement of stakeholders to further the township's well-being, to strive for compliance with all state and federal statutory requirements, to refuse to participate in any decisions or activities for personal gain at the expense of the best interest of the township, and to further the understanding of the obligations and responsibilities of American citizenship, democratic government, and freedom. These principles we pledge to our township, our state, and our country. And it has signature lines with each of our names if we choose to adopt these principles of governance.
So do we have to have an attorney look at that as well?
It's MTA, and so it is by an attorney.
Those were MTA.
MTA, yeah.
Policies as well, so I would think
I mean,
that,
this actually says MTA on it.
It's
So,
not actually a contract.
No, it's not.
Pledge.
and it's really not a policy, it's just a pledge.
yeah. I didn't have one of my dogs.
No. Okay, if you don't want to adopt it, we can set it aside. I'll make a copy.
I like it.
You like it?
I think it's good. I have a copy of it myself.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. But I would be willing to sign it.
I would like to see us all sign it and put it in a frame and put it on the wall.
I would like to review it as well.
All right.
Why don't
Why
we
don't we
review
make a
it?
copy review?
Yep.
Okay,
Review it and.
Yeah, I didn't even see it on the agenda.
no, it wasn't. It was just in my stack of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And since we were talking MTA. Okay, so last couple of things, for election, we have all of our inspectors assigned to training and they will start their training on the 29th. And then they have another training date of the 13th of July. We have approximately a dozen inspectors at this time. And public notice has gone out of the election. All of our absentee voter applications have gone out. Our deadline is Saturday for our move ballots to be prepared and sent through the electronic delivery system. The ballot has been approved by every township. And I have a copy of that ballot here. Any questions on the election coming up?
Early voting begins July 25th.
Our deadline is the 20th, and then after that, absentee voter ballots will be starting to be issued on the 25th. So next week, our ballots should be in, I think, tomorrow or Saturday, and then they'll start being sent out.
Nice.
And that is it for me.
And did you have a copy of the letter for the IRS? Were we gonna go over that one or no?
Just what I said.
Okay, in the state of Michigan, and then I was just curious, because
Yeah, I don't know why we keep saying state of Michigan, because there's nothing going on with the state of Michigan.
well, I was just curious, because when I paid this bill, it was stating that we sent them a shortage, and then we got.
That's BSNA. That is, I
Did
don't.
you reach out to the SNA to ask
Yeah,
them?
yeah,
And what
and-
did they say?
What they said is the way that I don't know, that's how to describe it. It's somehow to do with the dates that they pull the taxes and the dates that they report the taxes, and somehow it doesn't all end up in he said it comes out in the wash. So they will bill you for, or they'll report that you owe this much, and then they don't pull all of it until the next month, and so then some of last month's is on this month. It's just the way their system works, and it'll always be like
Okay,
that.
so then it's something that I'll call them and find out. And that was my question with the state of Michigan. And then I think when we spoke to Carolyn and she talked about the state of Michigan, and I told her that we were current from January 1st forward, and she had asked if we had login information and passwords for prior to that. She said it would be 2 different accounts. When we talked to Carolyn.
That account was deactivated.
Mhm.
There's nothing in there to see anymore, I don't think. You can look, but
Well,
So
that's
this
what I
is-
mean.
This is about all the unemployment.
Yeah, that part, yeah, cause she had asked us in that call. Cause I had told her that, Christine had started setting up January 2025. And that we were in good standing and we were up to date. And then she asked, well, we had talked about the prior stuff, and that is supposedly has a second login. That we would have to go back and look to see if there's anything hanging out.
It seems like they would send us notices.
They would send us a notice.
no, but actually at training yesterday, they were talking about that, as a municipality, we're not supposed to be paying into unemployment. It's supposed to be reimbursing instead of a monthly payment. So I have to find out.
It would be
From the
I
state.
think it would be like.
So, yeah, so what it would be is only if there's a claim, would there be a payment.
Is there any way to find out what that?
I asked them in person, I talked to them on the phone, and they said, no, you can't be reimbursing. But at MTA, they said, you're supposed to be reimbursing, so I don't know. But the login information, that is directly linked to my ID. My ID.
No, I'm not talking about the new one, I'm talking about
The old one,
The old one
too.
is
You-
linked.
Yeah,
to-
you can't get into it unless you have.
Is there any way that you can get into it and look and see and let us know what all is hanging in there?
It doesn't really show anything, like, it gives you dates and then zeros. It doesn't.
Can we get a copy of that to give it to Caroline's group?
I don't know if it's printable, but I'll look,
Okay, okay, no,
if I
thanks.
can get into it. don't
And then
know if
I
can
will
still get
ask,
into it.
the SNA help desk about it.
Okay. That's why I mean, as soon as I saw it, I called them, like, why do I have a bill? Because your system creates the invoice. The SNA system creates the invoice for the IRS and for the state. So there shouldn't be an amount due. But it's just the way it does, the way it pulls the information. That's what they said. I don't know.
Sure.
On that online account for that, you say it's under the clerk's name, is there money going out of that account? Do you pay through that, or is it just information?
Yeah, that one gets paid online, I believe. State,
Well, the clerk-
it's a EFT.
Technically, the clerk's not supposed to be paying funds, that is the treasurer's job to release money.
I know, that's the conversation I had with you before, so.
But it's not that we have to do the reports or anything, you create everything and present it to the treasurer, she goes on and pays it, but as far as getting online. We
She
should
would
have
have to
access to
create
that,
her, she would have to create her own account.
that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
The clerk, is it set up to where the clerk? It's not that you have to guard that information, you guys are equal, so I'm not sure why that can't be shared.
It's my ID me.
Okay, but I know, but what is it linked to, how does that operate, why is it
It's
guarded?
linked to my social security number and my state of Michigan account.
So she just wants the reports that were historic, so. As the treasurer, she should be able to see that.
That's what she just asked me for.
And I just need notes.
Yes.
Well, since we're talking about online payments, do we pay online to Costco or do they send us a bill once a year?
It's not a bill either, it's not.
For
a
the
charge.
members.
Oh,
No,
for membership,
for the
I think the membership's set up on the credit card.
Okay.
Which is not gonna renew now because the credit card's no longer active.
Was that?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they won't talk to me to get them the new credit card.
Okay, moving on. We have a fire department report, but we have no fire department people here. I know that this all just came yesterday and there was a.
You guys are gonna be here anyway, you just asked if you got to that yet.
Oh,
We'll set that aside.
okay, so set that aside and we'll move
Well,
on to.
Derek did say to me earlier that he only sent the proposal for us to review. It's no free and he knows that we haven't had time to look at it, so he wanted us to have it to review it and then.
Yeah,
Decide later.
and so I did look through it, read it.
Yeah, I read it, but I don't know, I didn't digest it, so. Okay, we'll move on to planning commission written report. Nice brief report.
You read that report?
Was there anything you wanted to add, Dan?
No, I think that covers it. Most about this. Well, it was a great meeting, done in a little bit of time.
Yep.
Just over an hour, wasn't it? Well,
Nice.
no drama.
That's how a meeting should be, right? Time is it?
Yeah.
Maybe done it, done minutes.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. All right, fire department, just happened to have a. Fire chief here. Actually, we put you off a little bit.
Oh, you did?
It's like that, this isn't.
Oh, so, yeah, so the township, last month in May, we had 34 requests for service.
which has been kind of about the normal, a day, run a day or more, depending, we get a couple breaks and then we'll get 3 or 4 rounds a day. So it just goes in first, obviously we can't tell when they're gonna happen, but. We got a new website being built, so we can provide a little bit more information. To the citizens. It'll have we'll have a link to the DNR burn permit for that, so it'll be right on there. We'll have some other information about Calcasta EMS, kind of what they do. I'm not sure if they have a website, but it's being built right now, so we can have a little bit more, information out there about our department. So that's kind of in the works. Some training we did, last month, so we did some hose advancement training, so the members. Take a hose, could be 1.5 inch, 1.75, or 2.5 inch hose with a nozzle on it. And we advance it forward, or a single person will handle that hose. Just for training, at fires, at different pressures. So, yeah, it's good training to get your hands on it, obviously we don't do a lot, so. And then we did a kind of a class that's set up through, it's a firefighter training council. The funds for that are provided for like all the fireworks, money, taxes, that are sold within the state. We use that money for training. So we had a class that was for leadership, accountability, culture, and knowledge. So it was about a 4-hour class that was held at the Coliseum. It was a very good class. So very interactive class. And we did some pump operations as well. So I also provided the board, it's kind of a proposal for a pickup rescue truck. So what we use right now is F550, and it's our brush truck. So it carries 300 gallons of water, but it's not meant to go on rescue runs. As many medical runs as we go on, it's just not meant for that. It's an expensive rig. So right now it's had a couple repairs. It's actually at Cold Front Diesel right now getting repaired. So with getting a rescue pickup truck, it's a lot less money. It can maneuver in narrow driveways. That 550 is very heavy, so it's got a better chance of getting stuck in the snow. The new rig would have a plow on it, a winch, so if we get to a situation where we had heavy snow like we did last year, and then we can plow that out even for the ambulance, like we can make a pathway in, to get to the patient. So, presented to the board, it's a proposal, I just gave it to them today or yesterday, so they'll probably need some time to kind of digest it. And then, I'll probably start looking for bids, with different companies to try to get it priced out, so.
Nice. Any questions for the fire chief?
We have a fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's needed. But yeah, I'll let you guys kind of take a look at the proposal, and I'll start for housing bids and take it from there.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, we guys playgrounds on slowly and Gordon said that the work on the order was that tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay, we'll be back. When he's got time. He's put 3 bags down. Can you walk on?
No, but yeah.
Isn't it awesome? Yeah, once it's all spread, it's gonna be great. Oh, we're getting the mountain and then follow on.
Twice.
Yeah.
All right, a little short on time here, so I'm gonna pick it up, maintenance, and the notes here, I wanna speak for Gordy, but, he's been picking up a lot of, let's just call it loose trash, extra garbage bags people bring to the parks and just think that that's, where you dump your trash. So appreciate if anybody does see that kind of activity, to let us know, or get a license number or something to confront these people, but we're gonna try to bring a stop to it. We've got multiple cameras out and we're checking them daily, so we just have to keep on our toes.
It is posted, they will be prosecuted if it continues.
Gordy came to me today, with a price list to repair the stairs out there. I'm gonna get those, some loose ones, it's just time we needed to get that done, because, I don't want anybody falling out there. Creating problems. This is something I put on here under maintenance, and that is a discussion. To get our part-time custodians, I mean, I am. Trying my best to keep up on all that stuff, but I'm like not having enough time to keep up that. So I'm hoping that. You know, maybe we can get somebody as a cleaner and just, you know, maybe some small fixes here and there. I know we have
Would we have to post that, Johnny?
that would be an option for sure. I already have a couple of applications from previous things that we have talked about or whatever. I know that Haley, who does the gymnastics thing, was kind of asking if that's something that she could do. She's obviously renting that gym for those gymnastics things. Cost her a little bit of money. And she was hoping maybe, and obviously we can't create a thing where she's working off her fees, but we could certainly, you know, maybe employ her as a part-time custodian for a couple hours a week or something like that. You know, it's not a big job, it just takes time, you know, it's one of those things, you gotta have the time to do it.
Oh, right. I mean, you shouldn't have to be doing that.
Yeah, and I don't mind doing, you know, but I just don't have enough time to do it.
Right.
So.
So my question just is, should we post it, getting applicants? I mean, even if we just posted it on our website.
Mhm. That would be okay with you. So I can go ahead and do that?
I think it's, yeah, everybody has to vote on it. Yeah, but they posted it.
Okay. I'll come up with something, post on the website, and then. What's the rate of pay there? Yeah, good question. We did have on our. Thing custodial wages that Jody was getting, I don't honestly remember what it was,
I don't remember.
17 maybe,
Was it 17 an hour?
17 and change, I think. I'm not 100% sure.
It would be on
It is on there.
payroll.
Yeah, I might be able to find the pay schedule here.
So we would be basing it on what we paid for like custodial before.
Jody would have been the last custodian that we had.
Mhm.
Don't want to do that to me. What do you call it?
Salaries are still.
Yeah, we just talked about it the other day. What was that? What do they call that sheet with all of our costs on it? But that's what it's listed there. All right, well, I can research that, and can I just assume that we'll be using the same pay scale? I'm sorry? Fee scale, yeah. Probably going on.
We have custodian at 17.39 an hour.
Okay. Would that be appropriate then? We'll continue
I
to.
think so.
And how many hours are you? Days or.
She only worked maybe 10 hours a month.
I was gonna say 2 to 3 hours a week, probably. Not after every rental, but you know, there'd be like maybe a. Before the Wednesday COA or, you know, like. Yeah. So I guess it would be 2 to 4 hours a week. Nice. All right, I'll put something together and get it on that thing. All right, page 2.
Well, just skip the results.
Oh, did I skip one? I'm sorry, John, go ahead.
All right, you have my written report. There's a couple of updates for you on the iWorks program for permit management and code enforcement. I've already started the implementation process with the company. Unfortunately, it's gonna take, by their estimates, up to 60 days to get it fully functional. So there's a lot of information that I have to provide to them, so we're feeding them a lot of information. But I've been in contact with them every few days. They're asking for it. Bottom line, it's being worked on and it's hopefully up and running at least within that 60-day mark and possibly even sooner. On anything else on zoning, because I have one more thing about public safety.
Just that we have a couple of court dates out
Yeah,
there.
court dates are coming. We probably are gonna be issuing a few more citations.
Mhm.
It's got down to that point. So again, we are getting a little bit of compliance. A little bit is better than nothing. So we know there's still big problems and that's still priority one. Jim and I sit in the same office most of the time, so we both discuss it and understand it. It's not an easy process, but we're trying to work with the planning commission to get the new ordinance adopted. And with iWorks in there, I think it's gonna help at least smooth the process up, make it more efficient, more timely.
All right, public safety.
So public safety was brought up tonight. I've been doing a little research on that. We didn't have a meeting last month because of the quorum. It's still hard to get people to show up. Like, I get it, it's a busy time of the year now. But what was brought up tonight about the volunteers of the public, I've been doing a little bit of research and haven't gotten to the point of presenting to the board. But I've been looking into it to CERT, a community emergency response team. There's a few townships that are doing it, and what it basically is, Antrim they have one, and they just used it with the floods not too long ago. So just a volunteer thing. It's not an enforcement, it is solely to assist law enforcement, fire department, bodies. Derek kind of knows what I'm talking about. There's a little bit of training involved. It's just a great asset to have in a time of true crisis. So.
We already have a team in place to contact, more or less.
Yeah, like I said, I've been doing a little research on it, and there's a few townships that already got some great programs in place, so not gonna reinvent the wheel, but we're real good at taking it, if it's already out there and it works. But it is something that we're, or I'm gonna bring to the board to think about anyway, because there are a lot of people that are willing to help. We have a tight-knit community here, and I appreciate that.
And the meeting's gonna be at 5 o'clock instead of, so Kennedy can make it.
Yes, thank you. So the public safety committee's meeting, we're gonna move it till 5 o'clock, third Monday on during the month, so 5 o'clock, third Monday.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Supervisor response. I got a request from the ZBA to appoint Michelle Shelley as an alternative member of the ZBA. I know she's been attending a good portion of the meetings. She's well informed on a lot of our issues that are going on right now. And with that, I would make a recommendation that we allow her to join the ZBA as an alternate.
Make a recommendation or a motion to appoint her.
Well, if it requires a motion, I'll make it a motion.
I think it requires a motion, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I'm able to appoint people to the ZBA just because I'm the supervisor.
Okay, okay.
And that was someone for Parks and Rec.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But just to back it up, I would make a motion to do that. Appoint Michelle Shelley as an alternate member to the ZBA. There's a second,
I'll second that. Oh,
all those in favor?
aye.
Aye. Welcome aboard.
Is it 1 hour or 2? One is it? 1 hour? Okay, just wanted to make sure that was right.
I apologize on the agenda, I have a problem.
No, she's on one.
It has one now.
You did it right.
It's the Michelle.
Oh,
You're
I
gonna-
thought Shelley was what we were talking about. In that case, forget
Michelle's
it.
2, Michelle's 1.
Michelle's in.
Okay.
I have one L on Michelle.
Hey.
Full business. I'm sorry. Yeah, I sure did, road committee.
Yeah, my written report, but
Yep.
you know, we had 2 people present, so it's held a formal discussion. Quick synopsis. Parking due to be an issue on the Shellway, Arwood Trail, Crystal Beach. Talk about necessity for a shared use path along Crystal Beach Road. And we discussed the traffic impacts that proposed RV park on Hill Road.
I did contact John Rogers about those bids, he did not have numbers. But he told me that he would give me numbers for like aggregate costs and things like that, current purchase, so. Figure out exactly where I wanna put those, we do have costs for that, so.
Can I just put it out there, Jim, that we're still getting a lot of questions about seasonal roads? I really think we need some clarification on that.
Yeah.
I got telling everybody the sign says it's not maintained by a county road commission, so it is what it is.
Was there a question where the limits of the seasonals are? Or-
Well, we're getting a lot of people that are encroaching on them, we're getting people who think that they're theirs. So there's been several issues, not just one road specific.
The back end of the Underhill Road is one that butts up to Dundas.
Mhm.
That one they blocked the road and moved the easement. That is in one of the individual's legal description. Like it's an apparent easement, so it runs the lay of the land with the deed.
Okay.
I know it don't go, the county don't go all the way through there.
Yeah.
There's private in between, I don't know if you knew that.
But that people on that.
Oh, I know who lives back there and who owns the property back there. I live on this side of it.
Yeah, it only goes so far from Underhill side and then from Dundas side, it only goes as far.
Yeah, now there's been a post put in the middle of the road for horses so that people don't go down in the side by sides or anything like that.
Said down by Warner.
Yes. Okay, old business. Patriot Park lease dissolvement, we have a court date set for July 9th at 10 a.m. Potential opportunity for a settlement before a full jury trial on September 18th. Let's hope we can settle that and be done with it.
So, but we're not paying them any money to settle with them, correct?
Well, we have a lawyer involved. so-
But I mean, we're not paying
No,
them
We're not.
to get them off.
No, why would we do that? We
Well, when I see settlement,
25
that's
years
what I.
for a dollar. I pleaded, with the Board of Commissioners in Kalkaska last night to apply any pressure that they would have against the Michigan Heritage and Research Foundation and the lease builders. Hound Circle, blight issue, we have a court date scheduled 7/17 at 10 a.m. in Kalkaska. And as John said, there's more coming. Elkway Spillway Project, August 26th, 6 p.m. in the Township Gym. There'll be flyers going out soon. You'll see if you're part of the Special Assessment District, you'll have a little flyer in the mail inviting you to the meeting. So. Banners have arrived. The brackets were not quite the ones that we needed, and we've done minor adjustment there, and the install will be coming very soon. Township Facebook page. Clearwater Township, Kalkaska County, Michigan, if you're looking on there. I have just one quick question on that, and I was under the assumption that Andrew was gonna be the only one that would post to that, and we were gonna eliminate comments. I noticed some comments have been showing up and that, I'm just wondering what's going on there.
That can't prevent the comments off the post. Post it can't turn around. The comments that go towards the page itself can shut up.
Okay,
But anybody, if you're stating,
Turn off, you can turn it on.
Even if someone outside it, like shared it.
Yeah, if someone shared, they can.
That's,
So you or if you use the one that goes on, it's posted on there.
right.
And you're the one that's people control whether or not anybody comments on the post. If someone shares your post and they're commenting, then you're correct, you can't stop that, but you can keep it from being shared.
Yeah.
So those are your options.
okay, well, I just wanted to check in and see what was going on there.
so who is the administrator? You're the administrator,
One and then Christine's the other one.
and Christine, you go on it to post minutes? Is what my understanding was, you were the individual who would be going and posting.
I think I posted the YouTube for the meeting and events, community events.
Okay. I would like to recognize Sharice Spink. She's been doing some work, updating cemetery records. She's been working with me a little bit on that. We're slowly gaining some control of cemetery records. A lot of updating yet still to go, but work is ongoing.
I should probably let you know, I just found out at MTA training yesterday that volunteers are subject to workers' comp.
Okay. I did get her to sign the
Okay,
waiver.
but just so we know,
Okay,
if there is an issue, if somebody gets hurt,
okay,
we will have to pay workers' comp for them
okay.
as volunteers.
All right. I put this item K on here. I didn't know if I mentioned, or I saw you mentioned in, past email that maybe we should be in a winter time or maybe later in the fall to do some of these. So I didn't know if we wanted to, reschedule some work on policy and procedures, maybe try to tackle one or two at a time, maybe.
Just got 3 ready to go.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a general
Do one or
meeting.
two and be.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do
because
that.
if we start getting into winter, we're doing taxes,
Mhm.
just like for her in the summer. Like she's doing elections, we're doing taxes.
Right,
So we're gonna have to tackle.
yep, we'll just
You're
keep
to find that slow season,
kicking
right?
them off one or two at a time here and there, okay? All right, new business, we got to nail down the ballot language for a couple of renewals. Article 15. Yeah. So,
Oh, yeah, that's not.
yes, I missed one there on, trying to find it here.
It is, H.
Okay, yeah, there is, just it should be black. All right, well, anyway, the renewal ballot, since I've already mentioned that, let's just finish that up. Can you provide me with the ballot language, the original ballot language for something previous on the ballot?
Just something or?
Well, the actual wording that was in there, because I
I
want to
think I
renew.
sent that to you, and I think you said
I did
that
have
language
the
wasn't
parks, but
worded.
not the fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember that one that Tom Backers had, it was it had several different things in the same resolution.
I will look for that and.
Okay, yeah,
That's not to you.
yes, thank you. All right, and then to back up a little bit to item H that I missed there. I think it was a couple of months, maybe it was about 6 weeks ago, something like that, we readdressed article or amendment 15, which was a zoning change from R1 to
Yes.
Village commercial.
Village commercial, yes. And we have a requirement to get it in the newspaper like in 8 days, I think. it is. Yeah.
15 days.
15 days, okay. And because of the Memorial holiday, I let that slip. And we went past the 15 days, so we're basically re-voting to affirm ourselves that this zoning change was approved, done correctly, with the exception of being posted, so we're gonna get it posted. I'm looking for,
Change the date on it this time.
yes, the date is good on here now. Actually, it's blank, but
Oh, okay.
it's ready to go. So I would, offer a motion to reapprove the amendment 15 zoning ordinance modification. It was on 3 parcels. A lot of you know a lot of rocks area. There's 3 parcels in that general area and they were all rezoned to village commercial.
That was our first board meeting, I think.
November 21st, yeah, we did that on 25th. And thank you, Dan, for noticing that, otherwise it could have gone on for years. Practically. I'm gonna make a motion that we reapprove amendment 15. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Probably should do a roll call vote.
Okay. Michelle Jackson?
Yes.
Bob Underhill? Christine Johnson, yes. David Cross?
Yes.
And Jim LaFear.
Yes, sir.
Motion carried.
Okay. And I would sign as well. Then I
I'm gonna
can
sign
get
it
that
right
in the
now. I'm gonna
newspaper.
sign it
Yes,
right now for you.
yes.
So you have 15 days to get.
I got 15. Yeah.
And on the website, and gets to publish on the news.
All right, with that, we are on number 15, which is public comment. Any other public comment like to share with us?
I got a question.
Yes.
It's a Parks and Rec vote coming up again, I've been trying to find it, was proposed in 22.
Mhm. It'll be on the November ballot.
It's, pardon?
It will be on this
It will be?
November's ballot,
Okay.
yes. If we're successful in getting it on there, but
Yeah.
yes.
We will be.
Yeah, it runs, I think, 2027. Or maybe it expires in 2026.
2026,
I can't remember, it was 4 or 5 years.
December 2026.
All right, any other public comment before we wrap her up today?
Can I
Ms.
ask
Janine?
Yeah, when we have people that write reports, like for planning commission or fire department, or whatever, can those be posted with the minutes at the end of the minutes as an addendum? So that, you know, cause you don't usually.
I did
read
just
it.
start doing that.
Did you?
I
Oh,
did,
okay.
yes, cause I thought, it
Yeah.
says that there's a report, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
not anywhere where anybody can get it. I have it, but yeah, I'm gonna start doing that from now on.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. I do have one public comment for a board member.
Okay.
I just want to remind the board that we are subject to the Open Meetings Act. And as such, that means group text messages, group emails, and in person. If there are more than 2 in a room or on a text or in an email, that's a meeting. And that is a violation of the Open Meetings Act. We cannot do it. So if there is a group email sent, you cannot reply. If you reply, that's a meeting. And that's a violation.
Unless you're replying just.
Unless
to
you're
the
replying to the one individual.
Individual, yes.
But also you cannot bring in anybody else's opinions or thoughts into that conversation. So I can't talk to Jim and say, Michelle said this. And, same for all of us, because that is a meeting. And I just wanted to caution us all on that because, there are a lot of group emails that come through.
Yep.
And I did have a couple of things, as a board member also. So, we provided, a rough draft of, employee handbook
Yes.
that has, also in there, social media policy. So are we going to do a policy for the Facebook page, or are we just going to rely on what is in the handbook? I just, you know, if we're,
I don't think everybody's seen the handbook suggestions.
okay,
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that would probably be a board decision to make a policy for that.
yes, so, well, it's in the handbook. So again, this is gonna be, going back to when we approved that Facebook page. My understanding was when we voted on it, that Andrew was going to be the individual who was the administrator doing the posts and, so forth. So am I assuming I was wrong in what we discussed in that meeting?
I think, and I looked at the employee handbook, update or whatever. That is more of like what employees can do as far as Facebook and things like that. I think we should probably draft our own policy for the
That web
township
page,
Facebook page. I
Okay.
think that would work.
because I'm reluctant to post, you know, anything in it if it's gonna, you know, be like some comments and things like that. The other thing we discussed is, the funds for the logging of that Heritage Park. Did we ever find the check that was paid out, if it went to the state?
No, that was $28,000. I believe it's what the amount was, but I have not verified yet if that has actually been paid to the state of Michigan or not.
And
So,
who would have that? Would it be in the archives upstairs? Would it be on the clerk's payables, computer? Where would that be?
I don't know, and I don't even know what, I think it was 2010 when that was done. So good luck, you know, I don't know where that record would be.
Do you have access to all the
I
records?
don't know how far back my QuickBooks goes, but I can know.
Okay, I was.
But I mean, how, I have to know who, what,
It
or
was-
amount, or who.
It'd be
was
Paid to the township.
paid, or was it
We
deposit to the
received
township?
it, and then the check should have been then cut to the state. Actually, that was it, roughly.
I'm gonna revisit those terms.
Okay,
I know it said minerals, you know, precious metals and different things like that. If I strike gold in the tree park. But, I'll revisit that.
sure, you don't owe anybody $28,000.
Yeah, in fact, we did get it when it was supposed to be turned over to the state. I think it's important that we at least check and see because,
Okay,
Jim, that was 2016.
okay.
Oh, not 2010, okay, well,
So it was only 10 years ago.
Kinda makes a difference.
They should be in the purposes and
Okay,
storage.
okay.
If it was paid
Well,
out.
they may have done it twice because I was looking at a newsletter from 2010. Stated if they had done logging then too, so. I'll recheck there.
Yeah, the same in 2016, you can get out.
Okay,
yeah, we would have done 2010.
Okay, I have a board member.
okay.
All right, so about the volunteers being eligible for workers' comp, I think we should put that on the next agenda and have further discussion on that.
Okay, didn't you say that was something the state required?
MTS, yes.
MTA said that?
So we gotta
We should look
create
at that.
something for volunteers.
Yeah.
We gotta-
We don't
do
have
have-
any,
we already have
yeah, we have that release of liability.
Yeah, I got
So
Okay.
I don't think that legally releases us from
You could have, yeah.
liability for workers' comp, though.
I have this copy. You can have it.
All right, last chance.
Can we have
Sure.
the past minutes before 2020 put back on so we can look at them? Put online, we used to be able to look them all up clear back, way back.
Mhm.
I think Gina has them,
Tina hasn't.
sure, yeah.
I'll just say, I think it's possible.
Centerra's, when we got them, maybe I don't know who took it off. I just.
We changed the
they were there.
website.
Well, when the website,
Yeah.
it was put out it.
Was
yeah.
it Pro Image or was it the website or something? We used to have Pro Image
Yeah, 'cause that's,
updating our website.
Right, and I'm sure they don't have.
'cause that's history.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice to be able to.
Yes, it is,
Sure.
yeah.
Jim,
Yes,
So I did go on the MTA website and there are certain policies that should go to the attorney, like the employee handbook and stuff, but it does clearly state that it's within the board's responsibility and duties, policies to be responsible for, especially the funds of the public. So to pass that on to the attorney, you're paying an attorney $290 to do something you guys are within your abilities, and rights and your responsibility to do. And you're just gonna accrue more fees, spend more money in public funds to do that stuff.
Good.
And just one other thing, so according to the state of Michigan legislature, volunteers are not automatically covered by the police pump.
Well, we're gonna have to nail that one down one way or another.
Yeah, they're stating we're not required, but I'll email it to you.
Okay. All right, there is no other public comment. We're gonna adjourn this about the.
We missed that, didn't think we're talking.
He did.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay.